Peace and blessings. Happy Sunday. With the sun and Scorpio dancing through the depths of our psyche into the hellish parts of ourselves that we are so deathly afraid to touch. Wow, here we go. So, I'm the Moon Mama. Happy Sunday. First, I want to say, please go register for the Mercury retrograde class. We are in the midst of a profound Mercury retrograde experience, and I know that many of you are feeling it, and already 50 of you have registered, so that's exciting. And for the 50 of you who have registered, I know that you guys are having an incredible time because I've been doing these Mercury retrograde classes, Mercury retrograde reset classes with Kelly Lynn Prime for the last few years. I believe this is our last class that we're going to do together. And it's just a profound experience. Mercury retrograde is a beautiful opportunity for us to recover ourselves, to rediscover, and to do things over. I know when I was young, I used to never watch a movie over again or read a book again. Arrogant, silly. And now I realize when I do things over, I actually see things that I didn't see prior. I actually get to sort of look at it from a different perspective with another set of eyes or from another experience. And that is very valuable. And so that's what Mercury retrograde is. And Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is an opportunity for us to look at ourselves through the lens of our shadow. And most of us really require that because the shadow is the place where we abandon ourselves, where we put things away because they aren't pretty enough, or because we want to fit in, or because we want to belong. And that's a tenuous that is a tenuous agreement that we have with evolution, right? That we are not willing to do the hard stuff, have the hard conversations, say the hard things, for fear of being abandoned, or for fear of rejection, or for fear of being alone, right? How many of you are afraid of being alone? That's one that I don't contend with. I'm actually afraid of being with people. For me, that's mine. Loneliness is not something that I suffer from. So I encourage you, please go register for the Mercury retrograde class. It is incredible. We have one more live class coming up, and within it, you also have all the rituals and all of the things that can support you in doing this work. Now, today, the sun is in Mercury, and the sun is in Scorpio. And it's conjunct Mercury. And Mercury is at the halfway point of the Mercury retrograde experience. So whatever has been going on for you now, and the sun in Scorpio is this opportunity for you to really get clear about where you need to make some adjustments. So for me, I am seeing in my life that I have relationships in my life that are completely raveled up in codependence. People that I relate with simply because I am people pleasing, or it looks cute, or it's fun, or I don't want to seem like a bitch, or, just places where I am doing things that are not authentic. And I'm doing it for the sake of something that is not really true to who I am. And I can see that so clearly now in my life. Places where I won't say what I really think because they're going to misunderstand it, or they're going to judge me, or they're not going to like me. That's a sense of abandonment. So what's showing up for you? While Mercury has been in retrograde, what is showing up for you? And here's the thing about Mercury retrograde. It will totally mess with your technology. It'll mess with your money flow. It'll mess with your ability to be understood. It will mess with your memory. That's what Mercury will do. But if you pay it its dues, it will relieve you or release you into a new way of being. So because it's in Scorpio, it's the things that we're afraid to do. It's the things that we won't, that we're not really willing to contend with. It's the places It's the things we put away and hide in the closet because we are not ready yet. And this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is saying, no, 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 no. You are ready. You are ready. And so what are you being asked to do? Are you being asked to embody your sensual, sexual disposition in a more profound way? Are you being asked to stop hiding behind social norms and constructs that you were given as a child that make you feel like you belong or safe, and stand out more and be truer to yourself? I know one of the things for me that I am working with is, I don't ask people to agree with me. I actually like to be surrounded with people who have their own ideas, who think for themselves. That feels really good to me. And the reason why is because I get to learn from them. I get to learn how people do things. I get to evolve and change when I'm surrounded by people who are really true to themselves and not just conforming to fit in or hanging out because they want to belong. And so I am now seeing the places where I don't do that, where that's not really happening in my life. And so I'm beginning to step away from relationships where pure authenticity is not occurring, where people have expectations of me to be different and I have expectations of them to be different, or people are where I am doing something because I feel obligated to a person for me to do it. It's like, oh, I'm doing this because they'll be disappointed if I don't. No more of that. That's my shadow. So look at your shadow. As the sun is conjunct Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, it's saying look at the deeper parts and the deeper meanings of situations. Why are you in the relationships, and how is the power being sourced in these relationships? What is really going on here? Are you being truthful? Are you being authentic? Are you being in alignment with who you really are? Or are you getting off of your square to get on somebody else's square because you are afraid Ooh, to be alone, right? A lot of us suffer with that fear of being alone. And what's that about? So I'm not going to talk too much today. The moon is in Aquarius and it's void all day today until maybe 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I think. And so Aquarius is about detaching, and it really is this opportunity to come into your true sense of self, your true state of mind. And that has to, when in Aquarius, that means something that has nothing to do with anybody else. Gosh, this experience of being true to ourselves is a very deep one, and it requires that you be willing to be present to your uniqueness. It means that you be loyal to yourself, really loyal to yourself. And how many of us are being really loyal to ourselves? As we're moving through this political conversation and all the voting and all that sort of stuff, how many of us are being loyal to what we really desire? Or are we being loyal to this idea that we don't want something? Are we being loyal to our fear? Are we being loyal to, a system that we've been indoctrinated in and we're not thinking any differently? Are we being loyal to some story or narrative that we've been passed down from generation to generation to generation? One of the things that I'm beginning to do is really sit and do sacred work with my ancestors so I can know what it is that they really wanted and what they want to express through me, rather than looking to the history books and, the stories of like slaves were this and they were that. And, that's actually not true. All those stories are not true and accurate. Many people who were captives were very powerful and witchy and magical and lived in ways that are not written in history books and that weren't passed down through stories and language. So, why are we participating in the system in the way that we are? Is it just because we've been conditioned to do that? So look at your own life, see where your own truth lives, and then begin to live it. I am the Moon Mama. I look forward to seeing you all in the last Mercury retrograde class that's happening on this Wednesday. I am profoundly excited by the work that we're doing here, and I hope that you have a wonderful day and a wonderful beginning of the week. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.